How's it going? We're wrapping up hour two of a tremendous Thirsty Thursday. Lots of broad range of topics we covered today. I'm sure some mistakes that the team will look into in a little bit. But I do want to remind you, I've been saying this for a while now, that the mainstream media is committed to one thing, programming our minds to think what they want to happen is what will happen. Okay? So now, let's take a look. And you know, I often watch Morning Joe with this moron Joe Scarborough and his wife Mika. And I call it Morning J.O. because that's what they do to the audience. They J.O. them every single day. Okay, they Jeffrey Toobin them every morning. But you know, let's take a look at Steve Kornacki, the electoral map wizard for the left wing. Let's take a look at what he had to say about Trump's path to victory.
4 new polls out of Pennsylvania. These are all single digits, but Clinton is leading all of them, 2, 4, 4, and 5. And this is consistent with what we have been seeing clear through this campaign. And really for a generation in American politics now. The Republicans can get close in Pennsylvania, but getting over the hump there, still no sign they can do that. Another big one we looked at today, a lot of people were interested in Wisconsin. The gold standard poll came out in Wisconsin today. Remember, Trump was in Wisconsin just last night. Well, look at this. There was a lot of uneasiness among Democrats in the run-up to this poll. A lot of sighs of relief when it came out. A 6-point lead. Hillary Clinton still holding strong in Wisconsin. Again, this is the kind of state that if Donald Trump, if everything else went right for him in the next week, he'd still need to flip a state like this. No sign in that poll in Wisconsin he's getting any closer there. Also think about Michigan. Hillary Clinton's going to be going into Michigan on Friday, trying to shore up her campaign spending money on the airwaves there. Again, what do we have here in terms of polling? A 7-point Clinton lead right now, and that's...
Okay, now you may be confused. JT, wait a minute. Why are you showing me this guy talking about the electoral map from 2016 when he was running for Hillary Clinton? Because I want to contrast here for you that they were telling us the same exact thing 4 years ago, and there were more people 4 years ago who were on the fence about Trump. Okay, but he spanked her. Now let's cut to Steve Kornacki with his new analysis of Donald Trump's path to victory 4 years later, this morning on Morning J.O.
Look at it this way. Those polls we just showed you, if Wisconsin went to Biden, if Michigan went to Biden, and if Pennsylvania went to Biden, those 3 states alone that Trump won by the skin of his teeth in 2016 would put Joe Biden over the top. And Trump would be in a position at that point. He could win Florida. He could win Carolina. He could win Arizona, Georgia, Texas, Ohio, Iowa, everything else you mentioned. He could sweep them if he does not get one of those 3 Midwest states that he flipped in 2016. He's under 270.
Same exact story. Literally the same exact story, showing us a map of all the places that Trump can't win. And it's just a, you know, a regurgitation of the same mind programming they were trying to pull off on us years ago. Now, Donald Trump weighed in on whether or not the person referred to in the Hunter Biden emails as big guy, or who the big guy was. Check out the prez. We don't have SOT 6? Oh. All right. Yeah, I mean, I did the whole thing last week that, you know, when you're doing illegal stuff, you come up with, like, these fake codes that you email and stuff like that. And when they refer to the big guy, we all know who that is, even the president.
Email reference 10% held by Hunter for the big guy. I wonder who the big guy was. The big guy. He doesn't look so big to me. He doesn't look so big when he walks on the stage. He's not looking too strong. Fragile, very fragile. But the big guy, they call him the big guy.
The big guy. I like the way you say it. He doesn't look that big to me anyhow, by the way. He looks pretty fragile when he's walking on there. In 2008, now, Joe Biden keeps touting this tax bill, and he's saying, no, these taxes are only going to go up for people making over $400,000. I did a little rundown a little earlier that even 50 Cent, the rapper, looked at Joe Biden's tax plan and said, no, you got to vote for Trump. And back in 2008, Biden and Obama promised nobody making less than $250,000 would see any form of tax increase. They broke that promise 16 days into office. And again, with 7 middle-class taxes in Obamacare. And they've been called out on this even by the Associated Press. But, you know, there was a fine if you don't want to get health insurance. If you're a young kid, like 26, 27 years old, and you feel like you're healthy, you don't want to pay for health insurance, there's a fine to either you or your employer. Now, I did this a little earlier in case you missed it, but 50 Cent broke it down so perfectly. He said, right now I'm 50 Cent, right? I'm this. 2 quarters. Bing, bing. Okay? And if Joe Biden becomes president, then I don't want to be 20 Cent. Because he's going to take 30 cents of my income, then I'll be this. 2 little dimes. Bing, bing. Even 50 don't want to be 20. You know what I'm saying? Now, in GFX 9, Nico, we caught Frank Luntz, supposed Republican pollster, emailing with Hunter Biden. And Jack Posobiec said he set off a firestorm yesterday, tearing into Trump's re-election bid. I don't know if you have that email there, but can you read it?
Check it.
Okay.
This is from Frank Luntz. Sorry. This is from Frank Luntz to Robert Biden. Because your dad hasn't said one word to me since the moment he was nominated for VP. 0, zip, nothing. That's why. Fair weather friends get fair weather treatment. And Bo knows I feel this way. That's not how I treat anyone in politics or in life. And by the way, I declared your dad the winner of his debate against Paul Ryan, even though Ryan is an actual current client.
And Hunter writes back, I love you, Bo loves you, but how can you go on TV and not mention the Jeep ad? Just in fairness, moving Jeep to China, that's not worth talking about, is one of the most outright fabrications ever paid for on television. Again, I think you are smarter than anyone in politics, but if you're doing a piece on ads in the last days, leaving that one out is just blank. RHB, Robert Hunter Biden, calling out Frank Luntz. And Frank Luntz, by the way, now you know he's a rat trader because he was saying Trump's campaign stinks. But, all right, nothing stinks about you for tuning in like you do every day. Thank you. Tell a friend, share, follow us on all our Instagram and social media, Facebook, it's YouTube, and all that great stuff. Tomorrow, a Freaky Friday like no other will be here, right here on Liquid Lunch. Same bat time, same bat channel, more Liquid Lunch.